Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into There is More to Be Done. My name is Anam, and I'm a psychology enthusiast. I'm here to share some simple strategies with you from the toolkit that I have created through my experiences and learnings in life for the everything is out of control, I don't know what to do moments. In this podcast, once in 2 weeks, I talk about different topics that will help you develop confidence and a I got this attitude. So let's get started. So, today we're going to talk about teaching people how to love you. How we show up, it matters because how we show up in front of people and in our day to day life, it teaches people how to love you. When you meet somebody, you start getting to know them. Oftentimes, after a while, we always have these moments where we feel like the person we're getting to know doesn't understand us. And 7 out of 10 times, when we do, we get mad. We don't communicate how we feel. At least, we don't really communicate in detail. And either we throw it under the rug or we just have our momentary reaction and say that, oh, it's nothing, and move on. But I think the sole reason why today people have so many superficial friendships and why we struggle so much to connect authentically is because we don't want to address the small things. And the big things only seem big because they are piled up on a pyramid of a bunch of small stuff and that tiny irritation you felt when you threw the seemingly smaller things under the rug. Now, all that small things and those tiny little moments of irritation, they've added up. They've added up, building resentment, festering over time. And that has tipped the weight of the friendship or the relationship that is now failing. We're so scared of losing people in our circle, their validation, their support, that we only want to address things when we feel like it has reached our tolerance threshold and we can't take it anymore. But just because all those little things did not reach the tolerance threshold that we have doesn't mean that it didn't hurt us or it didn't build that little bit of, you know, resentment along the way. But by the time something big has actually reached your threshold tolerance, it's too late because instead of addressing what's bothering us and sharing along the way when it happens, we've let it brew and we've thought about it and we've ruminated about it, adding so many things that may not really even exist. Think about it for a second. Do you not wish that your partner would have told you the 10 things they were bothered on separate occasions when it happened instead of bringing it all up when you're having a full blown fight? And there are sentences like, it's not just that. There is a long laundry list of things which they bring up and list as reasons why you have reached this point where you're frustrated. On the receiving end, when you listen to this laundry list of things, it blindsides you because now it feels like this person has a problem with everything that you do and they don't like anything that you do. You inadvertently end up feeling defensive and go into attack mode instead of trying to have a mature conversation about those things separately. Because maybe it's just a misunderstanding of intentions or the style of delivery or the way that they communicate. But you don't have a chance to have a discussion about it because once you go into attack mode, it's either fight or flight. There is no space for anything in the middle. We're so busy wanting people to like us that we don't communicate any of these boundaries for the fear that they might think that we're fussy. They might think that we're too much work. They might not like us because we're too difficult to be around. And of course, we're taught that nobody wants to be the fussy tantrum making person. Everybody wants to be that girl or guy next door who's like easy to get along with, has a go with the flow attitude. But this image of the girl next door, boy next door is not real. It's created by screenwriters of movie directors. In real life, everyone is fussy. Everyone throws a tantrum once in a while. We all lose our shit once in a while. And it's unfortunate that we're compared to this ideal idea of a person that has everything all together all the time. In real life, if you don't tell people what your boundaries are and you don't communicate what is important to you, how are they supposed to not end up hurting you one way or the other? It's almost like you have this company and it has these policies and code of conduct. And along the way, you've created certain changes in policy, but you forgot to send the memo to your employees, the people in your life, that this policies and procedures, the code of conduct have changed. You did not do an orientation. You did not explain people what are these changes, why are these changes happening. And so now you can't really blame the employee if they violated the new code of conduct because they were never communicated these changes. So how are they supposed to know? If you let go of wanting people to fit in your life instead of focusing on looking at if they fit yours, it is so worth the fear. It is very liberating to be able to overcome that fear and actually be transparent. And the bonus on this is that it also helps you to hold yourself accountable so that you're true to yourself. Because when you're vulnerable and you don't hide things from other people, when you screw up, they'll call you out on it and they'll help you build that courage to own mistakes, to take ownership of the things that you have gotten wrong, and to take ownership of taking responsibility of not repeating them, staying true to your value system. You're writing your story every single day. Your choices decide where your life is going. And so, if you really want to build those strong relationships, create beautiful memories with deep, meaningful relationships, teach people how to love you. Teach them what works for you and what doesn't. Don't expect them to just figure things out. My very close friend who is in corporate training always tells me of how, as trainers, they're taught not to assume anything. They're taught not to assume anything about the learner. She always says that you always have to create trainings from the space of simple understanding. So be simple. Don't assume people would know things, even if they have known you for a long time, because we learn every day. We change a bit every day. And even when you think that they know who you are, it's okay to repeat the information. No one is going to put you in jail for repeating the same thing that you talked about before. Just talk. Talk to them. Learn people and teach people so that you can create authentic, honest, meaningful relationships and make your life matter. Because trust me, when you show up in relationships like that with intention, you will make the other person also feel like they matter. And isn't that the real reason why we connect with people? So that we can create beautiful experiences and share those experiences in life with the people that we most care about. Are you going to make mistakes in choosing people that you connect with with so much intention? Of course, yes. But remember, there is no person who has existed in this planet who has not made an error in judgment. Not one person who's not done something embarrassing, who's not done things that they're not proud of. But the value in that, or the beauty, is in what happens after that, the experience that you gain from that. How did you show up after the experience? That's something you get to decide. And what's life without a little risk? It kind of makes it interesting. Intentional relationships and friendships, they take effort, they take work, they take intention and commitment, because not everyone is going to have all their days good where they dealt with all the rough days with absolute grace in calmness. People are going to have their moments just like you are. And you are going to have moments where the person you love in any capacity is going to frustrate the hell out of you. But that's the beauty of close relationships. You know you're safe in that relationship, and that one thing is not going to break it. You can show up feeling confident and safe because you know that no matter what the situation is, no matter what huge fight you've gotten into, they're not going to walk away. You're going to get through this, you're going to come out stronger, and they're going to be there. And that's the community you want to build. In being a part of that kind of a community in your life is going to help you show up stronger in every aspect of your life. Because when you have really strong cheerleaders, even when you're at the breaking point, you know that people are rooting for you, and you push yourself a little bit more harder to get on the other end of the finish line. I'm going to leave you with that. And I hope that the next time you have a conversation with a new person, that you're going to try to give them tits and bits to teach them a little bit more about you with courage and with vulnerability. See you in 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode and found this topic helpful. If you did find it helpful, or you know somebody who might like this topic, please like and share the episode. And please follow the show on the app that you're listening to this podcast on. Please do let me know in the comment section of how you like this episode, and if you have any questions regarding this topic or any other topics that I have shared in my podcasts, I'll be more than happy to answer them.